Blog Talk Radio.
Hey guys, it's your girl Sunny D. Welcome to tonight's show tonight. I'm so excited for tonight's topic. Today is April 6th, 2017, and if you're listening right now, you are on blogtalkradio.com/GST radio show. Guys, you want to say hi? Clint?
What's going on, good people? You already know what's going on.
Willie?
What's up, good people? This is Willie Styles. Hope everybody's having a good night.
And our guest person, Shar.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shar. I'm an ABA instructor, teacher, behavior specialist.
All right, guys. All right, we got a full house tonight. We got a great show lined up for you guys. When you guys listen to this topic, you're going to join in and want to be a part of this. If you want to call in, phone lines open up at 10:15. Phone number is 657-383-1155. We will be tweeting live throughout the show at GFT_radio. And tonight's topic is near and dear to me, guys. It is about autism. I'm going to explain real-life struggles that you go through when you have a child or a family member diagnosed with autism. So I know most of you follow my personal blog or follow our podcast. My son was diagnosed with autism about 2 years ago, and it's been an amazing, trying, stressful, and interesting just all-around experience, and I've learned a lot throughout this process. And he showed me a lot of things. He showed me patience and a whole bunch of other things, but this is why I want to talk about this, because I feel like this is something that needs to be talked about, especially in the black community, or just period. People need to talk about this topic and understand what autism is. And before I even go all the way in, I just want to kind of give a brief definition of what autism is. Autism spectrum disorder, also known as ASD, is a complex developmental disability. Signs typically appear during the early childhood and can affect a person's ability to communicate and interact with others. So that's kind of a brief definition of what it is. We'll go deeper into it in a little while, but I was walking the steps. I got a podcast. But basically, I realized when my son was maybe almost 2 that something was off. He was talking, saying mom, he was saying his sister's name, that, the usual suspect that they say at that age. And he was feeding himself. Like he was doing like what normal kids do at that age. And then when he got closer to, he just stopped. He stopped. Like I had him almost potty trained. He stopped potty training. He didn't really talk to anybody. He was really quiet. He stopped like saying the little words that he was saying. And I kind of got like, well, maybe something's wrong. So I took him to the doctors. I talked to the doctor. I expressed my concerns. The doctor was like, boy, a bit lazy. They got people in the house talking for him. He has an older sister, and it may just be him being lazy. So I said, okay. He said, give him about a couple months, like 3 months, and then see if he doesn't start talking, bring him back, and we'll discuss our options. So I kind of like, took him at his word, waited a couple months, watched, and just saw him feeding himself, like just completely regress to like baby stage, with just the baby talking, not like the normal toddler talk. And I would go to his daycare, see the kids his age talking up a storm, have a full-blown conversation with me, and he wasn't doing that. So by the 3rd month, called the doctor again, made an appointment, we went in, and I kind of discussed with him, like, I think something's wrong. There has to be something wrong because he's not, like I'm watching these other kids, and it's just like he stopped doing a lot of things that he was doing, and it's just starting to get worse. So, and then by that time, his behavior changed, and he was like a normal kid, playing around, but now he had a behavior problem, which he's been in daycare since he was a baby, and now he's acting out, and nobody knows what to do with him. So we kind of went through this checklist, and we talked about it, and he suggested that I go. He said, well, maybe he's having some type of developmental delay, and we can kind of catch it, not autism, but just a little delay or a speech delay. So I was like, okay. So he said, well, we're going to set you up with an audiologist, which is they checking their ears to make sure he can hear. And that's probably the reason why he's not talking or, just doing things because he can't hear. So I set up an appointment, took him to the audiologist. Ear came back perfect. I talked to her, and by just being in the office maybe 30 minutes with her, she was like, Mom, I'm going to ask you a question. She sat me down. She was like, I don't know if you got a term, but do you think, she's like, I think he might be autistic. And I was like, whatever. Like, I kind of like, whatever. She's just saying that to say that, and I thought he's a black kid. She's going to label him, blah, blah, blah. And I just was like, whatever. She was like, we got a neurologist up here. Didn't your doctor say you need to see a neurologist? And I'm like, yeah, or I have to see a neurologist as well. So she was like, yeah, we have one up here. She's very good. She's good with dealing with autistic kids or kids that have developmental delays. So, matter of fact, before you leave her, I'm making an appointment with her because I really think you need to get to see her ASAP. So I said, okay. So she made my appointment. She gave me information, wrote it down. She was like, I just hope that's not what it is, but, you're better off knowing than not knowing. So I kind of sucked it up, didn't really think about it, Came back a week later, went to the neurologist, and we sat there for maybe an hour and a half with this lady. She basically throughout the hour and a half meeting, she talked to me maybe 15 minutes out of the entire time, and she just played with him and watched him. And, she after a while she pulled me to, she took him to another playroom, and she went and talked to me, and she was like, I'm going to diagnose your son with autism level 2, nonverbal, this and the third. She gave me like a whole packet, gave me a bunch of paperwork, and was just trying to explain it to me, and I'm just sitting there like, what? What do you mean? Because, I'm thinking autism, the only autism I knew was what I saw like in different shows and stuff, and I didn't really understand it to a degree. I just knew that, kids are, they go just different, they're aggressive, they're just way, way different, and I wasn't prepared for that. So she kind of explained to me, she said, don't worry, she said, I think he'll be high functioning, he just needs to find a way to learn properly, blah, 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 blah. And she gave me all these support group numbers, all these numbers to call to kind of, she gave me a book called The First 100 Days to Deal with Find Out Your Kid Has Autism and What to Do During This Time. And I was kind of went home with the book like, what? I didn't really know what do you do? Your child's diagnosed with autism and you, what am I supposed to do at this point? So I finally sat down, read the book, kind of understood a little bit what it was. And, I'm not even lying. When I've read a lot of this stuff, I'm looking at my son like, wow, this is him. This is him. This is him. And I'm just like, it's shocking me. And I'm like, I don't want to, I didn't want it to be my reality, but that's what it was. And it was just like a complete change because then his behavior started getting worse because he was in a state where he couldn't communicate properly and the people he was around couldn't understand him, so he was acting out of frustration. And it was like a whole process of getting him signed up for these programs, getting him into the proper school, getting him all the stuff that he needed. And I can honestly say, during all of that, in the 2 years after the fact, my son is now counting to 20, saying his ABCs, movies he's watched when he was 6 months years old, and he watched continuously every day, all the time. He's singing along to it, and he's trying to talk. He can't say full sentences as of yet, but his behavior has kind of toned down. He's interacting with other kids his age. He's going to play with kids rather than be by himself. And I'm watching my son progress. It may be slow to others, but to me, I see a big difference from 2 years ago. And I'm just really amazed that, and I'm looking forward to his future. I'm looking to see him progress even more. Every challenge he has been put upon him, he has passed it and surprised me and many others around him. And I'm just amazed that, what I'm surprised because even in my city alone, I didn't know Trenton had a lot of these programs. I didn't know they had these different resources. And I'm finding resources left and right, different programs that he could be enrolled in. I wish there were more for kids like him, not only autistic kids, but, different kids with different disabilities. There's so many programs that you don't even know about until your child is wrapped up in that, or you have a loved one wrapped up in it, and you find out all these different programs that are like assisting the family on saying, Mom, how are you dealing with this? Because when you have a kid or a child that has a disability, especially a developmental disability, that's a challenge in itself. You don't know how their behavior is going to be one day. You don't know how they're going to be that day in general, and you just don't know how your day is going to go every day, and it's like a day-by-day case. And, when I tell you I was a patient person, my son has made me even more patient, and I don't know how more patient I could have been because it just amazes me how much I just accepted this challenge. I was in denial at first. I accepted it, and I ran with it. And I'm seeing the results 2 years later, so I know the road ahead is just like a bright light waiting for my son to make it. So, you can say a lot.
I think we should now throw it to the professional.
Yes.
And let her give her professional opinion and her professional suggestions.
Yes, and I just
how she helps.
And I just want to say before she starts talking, this is my son's ABA teacher. She is with my son 3 days out of a week, so she deals with this every day. So she's going to introduce herself and tell a little bit more about what she does. Shar?
Hi, again, this is Shar, and again, I'm an ABA instructor and a teacher in the school system. I'm in a special services school teaching one-on-one students. I'm a behavior specialist with a service that, I go to the home to be with the parents and the students or children. And I basically teach social skills to the children. As a parent, we never want to believe that our babies have developmental problems, but catching it early gives us, a chance to, give them a greater opportunity for success in the future. I always tell people, it's best to catch it early so that, you can give them all the help that they can receive. Now, as Sunny explained, autism spectrum disorder is not an illness. Someone today just asked a question, is autism an illness? No, it's not an illness. It's a disorder. It causes delays in developmental, such as talking, playing, and other social skills. Some children have mild impairment, but there's really just 3, which is just the communication, relating to others in the world, and thinking and behaving correctly. We believe in ABA, which is Applied Behavior Analysis. It's a scientific-based learning program which teaches children and adults to learn through repetition and a reward system. So basically what I do is, I teach the student to, we use a PEC system, which is a picture exchange communication. And basically the child who cannot communicate uses these pictures to tell you what he or she wants, how he or she feels, where he or she wants to go. And it basically gives them some kind of freedom in speaking when it's not verbal. And it's been scientifically proven to bring down behaviors such as tantrums in children with autism. We give a lot of praise, and it's important for a parent and teachers and, other loved ones to give praise, with, like Sunny explained, even the smallest thing that her son does, that he wasn't doing yesterday is such a big step. So we want to give praise to the kids and, make them want to do it again because they want to make us happy. And that's basically what it's about is, we make them happy and they make us happy, and it's all a learning process every day, daily.
Mm-hmm. So what are some of the signs that you can kind of look to identify?
Yeah, some of the early signs. One sign that a lot of parents and teachers see are when they first start walking is toe walking. This is when they start tiptoeing and they're not walking directly on the palms of their feet. Although toe walking is signs of other illnesses as well as such as MS and just a lot of different disabilities. It does affect children with autism as well. That's one of the signs. Some other signs are they don't make eye contact. They don't respond to his or her name. What else? They don't follow objects visually or follow your gesture.
Yeah, they don't play with toys properly.
Right, and they don't point or wave goodbye. Although, like the toe walking again, a lot of kids are, are showing this sign more and more, and then it even goes into maybe like an older child, like maybe 5, 6 years old, and most of the times they would have to get surgery, or sometimes they could do some kind of exercise to try to
therapy. Yeah, because they tried that with my we went to PT to see why he was doing the toe walking, because he's like a master at it. I call him tiptoe because that's what all he does. And they said that his I forget where the tendon is tight, and I have to kind of do exercise with it, but it's more of a sensory issue for him than a PT issue for him, because he does it because the way it makes his feet. So that's one thing they're big with sensory. They have like sensory issues, like where he doesn't like keeping clothes on him for a long amount of time is a big deal because he doesn't like clothes.
Right.
He didn't like, even with like what she said about some of the things about how, and I kind of interjected about playing with toys. He lined his toys up. He didn't play with them. Like if he had cars, he wouldn't just drive the cars. He would line them up in a specific manner. Eye contact for him was a big deal. He didn't do that. He didn't listen when you called his name. You had to kind of basically like tap him to be like, come on. And then eventually he kind of got it.
I got a question, Shar.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure you worked with not just Sonny's son, but other parents as well with their child. And do you find it difficult sometimes to, for parents to get to really be involved or to really accept the fact of what their child is going to do? Or, do you find it's been kind of, how can I not easy, but the relationship between the parents when you're working with their child, has it always been good, or has it been, you have difficult situations to where they're making it harder?
Yeah,
for you
being in the school system, I find a variety of different behaviors with the parents. A majority of them do want to help their children and are very good advocates for them, but then there are others that they just want you to babysit and, they need a break. And I kind of understand what the parents are going through, because my heart goes out to the parents. Like some of the behaviors that the children go through are very tough on the parents, tough on the loved ones. You're wondering all the time, is my child safe? While you're sleeping, you're wondering if they're going to run out the house. So I'm sure the parents are just tired. They basically, a lot of them don't get the help that, like, they don't know where to go. So, it's our place to tell them, different agencies, to refer them to different agencies and, get the help that they need. But again, there are some parents that just, do what they need to do, and basically they just need a break, and they show it.
So I have a question as well. So you were talking about a lot of the signs that people can look out for, and I know we talked a lot about the things that you've either done, or Sonny, I think, actually mentioned the things that have been done for her son. But I know that there's also different, I don't know how to call them, like levels or different points on the spectrum where people sit. So can you give some people some other examples of behaviors or or things that their children may be going through, or even the adults who have autism may be going through, that are a little bit different or a little bit further on one side or the other of the spectrum than where Sunny's son is?
Yes, there are different levels to autism. There are really, there's some children and adults who have issues with eloping. It's really difficult for some families to even go to bed at night, not, unsure of if their child is going to be in the home when they wake up. They elope. There's very traumatic experiences with some children who are violent to their own caregivers or people around them. There's signs, they do erratic things in public. There's some that, touch themselves inappropriately. And, this is something that a lot of parents try to, they don't want to take their kids out because they're afraid that the children will do this in public and then unsure of what, the public will think of them.
Yeah,
so
and that's...
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I'll talk when you're done.
Yeah, there are, there's behaviors that, a lot of parents are embarrassed of because they don't have the help that they need to try to tone them down. Some of the adults have the same behaviors that the children have. They never got the services, and, they're still dealing with the same exact thing that they had as a child. So that's why it's best to get the help as early as possible. Whether you believe that your child might have autism or he or she may not, it's just best to get checked and, try to get the help that you can get while they're younger, so that repetition, that teaching repetition just gets installed in them, embedded in them.
Yes, I was going to say, and that's one thing I do try to do with my son is take him out, because taking him outside the house to like restaurants, different functions is a big deal. And I don't think people, and I had to explain this to somebody, I'm like, you have to understand, as someone suffering from autism, they can't deal with change, let alone sometimes they can't deal with a crowded area. Like I remember I stopped taking my son to the barber shop because even though it's a closed-in space, he can't. It can't focus like how we can. Like, how we can go to a place and it's loud and we kind of shut all the noise out and focus on like reading the book or just sitting there doing whatever we're doing. They can't shut all that out. Everything is coming at them and they can't focus on one specific thing. So taking him to a barbershop is like, okay, he's going to get a haircut. He can't sit calm enough to get a haircut because there's so much going on. He's going to go to a full-blown, either he's going to go to a meltdown, or as she said, he's going to run and start crying hysterically, have a big temper tantrum because he can't get it to how he needs it so he can focus. And then on top of that, he can't tell me, Mom, I just want to leave. I can't deal with this. He can't say that to me. So I'm just taking him in an environment that he's unfamiliar with, and he's either going to shut down, melt down, have a full, or just be attached to me because he don't know what else to do. Or like, yeah.
All right, I got another question. What advice would you give? We already know that you help like the primary parent or parents deal with it. How can those of us who also interact with them, but not on a daily basis, help? Or, like what's, like how can we help interact with them in a better way to help them along as well?
Education. You have to educate yourself. You have to learn about the disorder. It's good to know as much as you can about it. Of course, you want to be there to support your friends or your loved ones but just educating yourself, just learning, being around that child, being around that family, and showing your support. Just showing, just a word to the family, telling them that you support them is huge. You know what I mean? Because the family goes through just like the child goes through. The family feels isolated. The family, deals with shock, so many emotions, and they need to be supported just as well as the child. The child will feel the love, if it's an adult, he or she will be helped. You'll be helping them to be around them and just show your support. A perfect example of, you asked about the adult, a perfect example is a movie called The Beautiful Mind.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, it was really good, and it's about a professor in Princeton University, and he was autistic, very intelligent, but he lived his life. And, one thing with autism is, like I said earlier, it's not an illness, it's a disorder, a disability that you can live with. We live with disabilities every day. You have back surgery. You recover from it, but then you still have a disability. You're still affected. And it's the same thing with autism. It's a disability, but you can learn to live life, a successful life, and a healthy life, just like he did in the movie. He lived a nice life. He was able to teach and instruct. He was a good teacher. And, he said earlier that adults go through the same thing as the children do. It's just learning how to adapt to that disability.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, Clint.
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying, I know recently we had a seminar at my job from the folks at Autism Speaks, and they were talking about interacting with people with autism when they work with you, especially in like professional settings where we may be doing work on computers, or we may be doing work in different facets like accounting and things like that. And they were mentioning that they were really good at certain types of jobs because a lot of people with autism are very keen on detail, right? They're very adept to dealing with repetition and things of that nature. Can you talk about that a little bit as well?
Yeah, they do. A lot of them are good. A lot of the individuals are good with order, organization skills, computer skills. You just have to, within the individual, you have to see and bring out every detail that they are, they do well in. So it is true that, different jobs are wonderful for, people with autism. You just have to find that niche, find their niche.
That's what somebody told me. Somebody said to me, find what he likes and kind of usher him to that, because that's what he's going to excel at. And it's funny because I know like me and Cheryl talk about this every day. My son has a ritual. We trying to break him out of it, but he has his ritual that he comes in the house. The first thing off is his coat. He waits for you to help him take his coat off, and he'll take it off the rest of the way. His shoes will come off, his socks come off, and then he'll take his clothes off. And me and Sharp are working on with him keeping his clothes on for a longer amount of time, because that's what he does at everybody's house.
And now he's up to wearing them for like an hour and a half at least, before trying to take them off. So, just repetition. Repetition is the key. And like I said, there is room for success. There's a lot of room for success. You just they need support,
I know one of the main reasons why I bring up interaction, learning how to interact with them, is because growing up I had two cousins my first cousins, they was brothers. They're brothers. They're both, autistic. As a child, trying to interact with them, it was difficult. I didn't understand what was going on because nobody explained to me, they explained to me in a way what was going on, but like you said, they themselves wasn't educated. You got to think this is early 90s, late 80s, they really wasn't educated on it themselves, So now it's like at this point I have no real relationship with him because I never was able to really interact with them on any level because I didn't understand, I didn't know how, and it kind of, and now since we've been talking about it, and I know a couple other people who have children that are autistic, I've began to educate myself, and eventually I would love to reach out to, to them and build some type of relationship with them. You feel me? Because, I know it was hard on their mother.
Yeah.
I know it was hard, and then, like just to show them that somebody cares at the end of the day. You feel me? Like, I'm not looking at them, not looking down on them, not judging them or nothing. So, I'm going to do that. And that's one of the main reasons why I was excited about this show as well, because, if anybody else out there that's listening and, they have a relative, a young relative or older relative who is dealing with it, to educate themselves and learn how to, and reach out and don't, make it easier for the family as a whole.
And that's the main thing. I know, especially for me, I it's one thing to tell people that your kid is autistic, try to explain to them different things about autism so they can kind of understand to a certain extent. But you can explain something to someone all day. If they're not willing to engage and get the full understanding of what you deal with on a day-to-day basis, like, you have to understand that you're dealing with, you don't know what you're waking up in the morning and knowing how your day is going to go or how their day is going to go for that matter, because we're struggling as parents to be able to support them. That's why I said patience is the number one thing, because I get frustrated. I'm not even going to lie. It's times where he's just in a full-blown fit, kicking me like hard, and he's having a full-blown meltdown. Sure, I would love to say, Xavier, get up. Stop doing that, especially outside, when we're outside, because you got people that you don't know looking at you, and the first thing they want you to do is shut your child up because they're making a lot of noise. And then you get the looks like, oh, she knows how to deal with her child. And it's like, I can't. And then the one thing I do hate is, oh, you need to beat him. I can't beat a child that doesn't understand. And why would I beat him for being autistic? That doesn't make any sense. It's different that they're having, your kid bad and they're doing bad behavior. That's different. And that's why I saw that shirt on Facebook and it said, I can't beat the autistic out of him any more than I can beat the ignorance out of you. Because I can't just beat him because you want him to be quiet. We were in Fridays over the weekend, and he had a full-blown meltdown. And this is where support comes in, because it's me, him, and his sister. His sister has been here the entire ride, knows what we deal with on a day-to-day basis. This is nothing new to her. He has a full-blown meltdown in Fridays. And, of course, I get the looks. Everybody's looking like I'm crazy. The people walking up, is he okay? Just the normal stuff, acting like I'm just killing my son. But everybody can see that he's just upset, and he's gone into a whole meltdown because he's tired. It's a lot of things going on, and he just can't say what's going on, so now he's having a full-blown meltdown. And my daughter says to me, Mom, can you just get him because he's making too much noise? And I like to snap because I'm like, what I'm dealing with. Why, of all people, you should be here supporting me, and you're like everybody else in this restaurant that want me just to shut him up. And that's frustrating because you're trying to diffuse the situation, but it's not as simple as just telling your kids stop making noise and it's done. It's not that simple. And from onlookers looking on, it's embarrassing, but at the same time, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, I was thinking about that when I recently seen a similar situation while I was out and about, and because I am familiar with some of the things that people have gone through with their children and that kind of thing with autism is now I think about it differently. Like say once you have that education, you think about it differently. Now you can kind of take a step back and realize that it may not be just as simple as someone not being able to discipline or control their children. It may be an underlying issue. If it's some other thing that could be the problem. There's all types of different disorders and behavioral issues that can cause children to either act out or act up in a way where people assume that it's one thing or another when it's really something that the parent can't really control. So it's definitely important for people to realize that it's not always as simple as they think and cut and dry as they think, because there could be other things. You don't know people's struggle.
Exactly, and I would suggest within the family to get as much therapy as you can within the family, because every family member needs to learn how to support that child, how to support the whole, the parent. It's really hard to go through by yourself, but when the whole family gets, comes in together and gets a better understanding of the whole, the whole situation, the whole circle, then it becomes a little bit easier. And, there's a lot of times the schools are supportive. The school that I work at, it's called Burlington County Special Services, and they have a lot of links. You could go onto their site and see, all the links, the support systems that they have, as well as another place that I work for is Family Resource Network, and it's like they're an umbrella of different resources to go on there.
They're up here. That's how I got in contact with you.
Right. And at the school that I work at, we have children from all over, from Atlantic City, North Jersey, South Jersey, Pennsylvania. We have children from all over, and basically, we deal with all types of disabilities, as well as behavior issues. But just being into a support system it just makes a big deal of progress.
Yeah. Hold on, guys. We got a call on the line. Hold on. Hello.
Hello. What's going on, bestie?
Hey, Frank.
Hey, what's happening? How you doing?
Hey, guys.
How's everybody?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
All right.
How are you?
All right.
You want to add to the conversation?
Well, I just got on. I was trying to hurry up. Thursday's my rehearsal night. I just got finished, so I caught a little bit of it. My middle son is autistic. He's 32 now, and it's difficult at times, but as time goes on and as he learns things, it's a lot easier. And he has 2 brothers and a sister, and we really didn't do as far as in the home or when we're out anything different. Like, we didn't treat him any different. The same things that I expected of his brothers and his sister. If he would have started acting out, then I would just, tell him, no. And eventually he learned that, like, Dante is great. He's great. he got diagnosed early around when he was 3, and he's been in programs, this whole time. He still goes to one now, a great program out here in South Jersey where I live, which I love. They're awesome over there. It's called Durand Academy.
Okay.
I heard some of it. I heard a little bit about you said in Fridays. Yeah, don't get discouraged. Keep taking him. He's got to, just get acclimated.
That's what everybody tells me.
You got to get acclimated. And then there's a thing, if it's a real noisy place, that's going to bother him a bit. A lot of noise and things like that. So he just has to get used to it. He has to just make sure when he does that, like you do, I'm sure, just try to comfort him and let him know everything's all right. Eventually, those meltdowns, as you say, will be less frequent.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I like to take him everywhere so he knows that, and even there, it was very frustrating to stay calm when my daughter was, in her mood, because she's a teenager, she's in her mood, and to kind of deal with calm him down. And I'm feeling the rage from everybody else in the restaurant because now I'm going in their meal because this kid is screaming. And the whole time I'm just trying to make sure that he's not hitting himself or anything, and I'm just trying to calm him down. And it took me a while, but eventually he calmed down and he was fine. And it was like, okay, but it's just giving him that time to kind of calm him down without people walking over like as if, like I said, I remember Star was with me. We took him for his birthday to the aquarium. A lady actually called the cops on me on the river line and said that I was abusing my son. And I got off, thankfully he stopped before, but the last road, they were waiting for me to go off the river line because they were going to try to arrest me. Because she told them that I was abusing my son because he had a full-blown temper tantrum, threw himself on the ground. When I went to pick him up, she tried to say that I had threw him down. And, she went and told the conductor, and they actually called the cops on me. And that's another thing where people are ignorant to what's going on. And I get it. You see a child and you think that they're harmed, but it's better to ask before you just assume. And that could have went real wrong.
Right.
Yeah. If people just take it at whatever they take it at, and they don't understand, which I get it. Stuff kids are abused on a daily basis, but to the extreme that you have the cops, like even the conductor, for you to listen to this person and not even ask me a question and just have the cops waiting for me is crazy.
Yeah.
I have a question for the brother.
Yeah. Yes.
I have seen, I know I've seen in personal experience where, when a couple has a child that is autistic, it became a strain on a relationship between the mother and the father. I would like to ask you, it's not too personal, how did y'all deal with that between you two? The parents, how did y'all, how did it affect y'all relationship, if it did in any way?
It could be a strain. It puts a little strain on it. Initially, his mother and I, well, the mother of all my children, we're not together anymore, but we're still in contact, and we both still co-parent, even though our children are grown now. But still, it puts a little strain on it. But the main thing was we just wanted to get what was best for Dante. So it kind of tempers itself. The strain comes with some of the behaviors that come with it, especially when they're little. Like I know Sonny's dealing with now because her son is young, and as he gets in these programs and things like that, and she'll get some different trainings and things like that, and it'll get better. Some of the behaviors will go away, or even if they don't, you'll have some effective ways to deal with them. But back to the brother's question, yeah, it could put a strain on us, like I said, especially when those behaviors come. That's the main thing, because you're dealing with a lot of things.
Yeah.
You're dealing with trying to calm, the child down. You're dealing with people that don't know what's going on, and trying to be all in your business or thinking you're doing something when you're not. So those things, yeah, they put a strain on it. But if you're, like I said, if you got a common goal, then you can work through those.
All right, thank you.
Can I ask you if you ever had therapy, like family therapy?
No, nope. We didn't have family therapy. No, we like I said, pretty much we just everything we did with his brothers and sister, we did with him. So I guess we all just kind of dealt with it together. So we were our own therapeutic unit for each other. So
yeah.
Yeah.
That's just because not a lot of people. I know a lot of my friends that have, and this goes to what Clint said. One of my friends, I posted on Facebook about my son being autistic, and she actually inboxed me, and she said, "Yeah, my son was diagnosed maybe a month prior before my son was. Her son was diagnosed before my son was diagnosed, and she's married."
Mm-hmm.
She basically said that it was an issue where she didn't want to accept the diagnosis, but she understood it and went forward with what needed to be done. Her husband didn't really want to acknowledge the diagnosis. But
right.
now
and
now he's on board. And it was like she said it was frustrating at times, but she's glad that he's on board now because he's seeing the positivity coming out of the benefits coming out of what's been going on with him. And we kind of helped each other out. Like, I talked to her. She gave me ideas. I gave her ideas. And I just told her, I said, well, he'll come around to it because, I had explained it to my son's father and explained that to him. I didn't know how he would take it, and he took it on, and he said, everything that I need to know about it, send me information too. So when I would get information, I would copy it and send it to him, and he would read it too just to kind of understand it, or at least get an understanding of what it was.
Yeah. And that brother that asked the question earlier, that's probably because I know some other families being dealing in this community with other autistic families with autistic children and things like that. That would cause a strain when you have one parent or another family member. Doesn't even have to be a parent. Another family member that's in denial, and when you got a parent trying to get, the necessary help for the child, and then you got to fight with another family member or your spouse because they're in denial. That would cause a big strain. Luckily, I personally didn't have to go through that at the time, but I could see where it would be troublesome for some families to deal with when you have one that is trying to get the benefits out of whatever help is available, and then you have another that's in denial and fighting that person that's trying to get the help. That'll cause a big strain. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to mention too is, and this might speak to Frank's point or issues where a long time ago I know that there was limited resources, limited information. It was still trying to be understood probably 20 years ago, 30 years ago, that kind of thing. And, now I know we have a lot of resources that are out there, but I think some people probably may still not realize that they're not alone, that they do have options, they do have resources that can help not only with directly for their child, but also for their family, also for those around them. Because one thing we were looking at with the Autism Speaks folks, and Shar, you may know some other resources as well, but I know that they have toolkits that are built around educating your other family members, the ones that don't, like cousins and aunts and uncles. And then they also have toolkits for communities where you can, help educate other kids in the school or community organizations or community services like the police and fire departments and things like that, because it also affects them. Because I know that there's special programs or special information that they can even use to help them in dealing with folks with autism and interact as well.
Right.
Yeah, and that's one thing. I was surprised with a lot of the resources they do have for like we talked about on last week's show about Find Our Missing. They do have a whole different setup of look for missing autistic or developmentally delayed or people with disability. Have a whole way to look for them. It's a little bit different. They have different resources on how to, or they should have training on how to.
Yeah, we last year when the situation happened in Florida, where the counselor got shot by the police when he was trying to calm the autistic gentleman down, and the cops didn't understand what was going on, and they shot, and they, luckily they didn't hit the autistic man. They hit the I guess it's counselor or whatever, or however you call it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Miami,
I believe, law enforcement. I think they should have more education to how to deal with it. You feel me? Because like Sonny had mentioned before, they react different in under certain pressures and situations. So one may think that they're trying to, like, they're violent or something when really they're not. Mm-hmm. And that can go down a whole dark situation, just like how that situation in Miami, even though it was dark for the gentleman who got shot, it could have been even darker, if they would have killed that autistic man.
It would have been an outrage.
Yeah, just for no reason. Mm-hmm. Basically would have killed you for no reason. So I definitely believe, law enforcement, I'm pretty sure they got certain programs, but obviously it need to be more taught, within all first responders, period.
Exactly.
Yeah, but even that. Mm-hmm.
Also in schools, like a lot of times you could check your schools, your local elementary schools, and private schools, and a lot of times they hold like different organizations come there and teach the community. I have always said that they should give out handouts, just for the community to read on autism. But there's a lot of organizations that you could go to, for information. One of them is autismspeaks.org. They give out a lot of helpful information. Autismsociety.org. Basically, if you just, there's things that you could sign up for, like, disabilityscoop.com, and you can actually sign up for that site, and they'll give you all the latest news on disabilities as well as autism. And, you could learn about things that are going on in your neighborhood. You could, like, sometimes I know the police station here at one point was given, they had something in the summertime about 2 years ago that geared towards autism. So a lot of times you could go to your local police station and get information, get pamphlets on, different support systems and different resources in your neighborhood.
Yeah. I remember I went to this one place that he used to go to for therapy. He recently stopped because he was off for 6 months, and then if we might go back and get some more. He's going there for speech and OT. But they have, like, this board. It's like a board for everything. Like, they have called Children's Specialized Hospital. They got them all over New Jersey, I believe. And they have like a parent board where they have different, like, they have They give you like the places that kids go to that have sensory friendly events and things like that. They also have family groups, like you can go like a group therapy session and just, you know, for those families that don't really have somebody to vent to, or a parent that doesn't have somebody to vent to, they can go to this group therapy and just vent their problems and listen to other parents. And because that's one thing I like to do. That's why I share my son's story as much as I can and share little updates about him, because you never know who's going through it, who don't have somebody to talk to, who's going through it, and they just need to know that their child might make it through. Because, you know, you once your child gets diagnosed, you know, they give you best case, worst case scenario. Your child may never talk. Your child may never be functioning properly. You know, they don't want to give you false hope. And then when you see these things like these, each milestone achieved, you're happy. But when you have those bad days, because you do have bad days, some days you just want to just like, I'm over this shit, I don't want to deal with it. But you really can't leave. But, you know, you just get to that point where you just set up at some point. You just need a break. They have therapy group sessions where you can go and vent and talk to parents that's going through what you're going through that can actually relate. Because it's one thing, not saying I can't talk to my friends about it, but they don't understand because they're not living it. I can talk to you till I'm blue in the face, but you won't really understand where I'm coming from because you're not living in it. Versus going to a session, which I need to go to, and just vent and have people that understand exactly your thought process, exactly what you mean. Even though you might say something that you might think is the worst thing to say, but you know you love your kid, but you're just so fed up with it all. But you need to get it out because it's good for you. You can't hold that stuff in. You have to be able to express yourself because you're holding it in because you just feel like it's the worst thing to say, but this is really how you feel. And it's not bad to feel that way because, you know, you got parents that just say, oh, my God, my kids are driving me crazy. What the hell was I thinking? You know, but they don't really mean it. They love their kids. They just, that day was not a good day. So, you know, they have all these different support groups. They have so much that you can deal with. There's events you can go to where your kid is going to not be judged because his kids like them there too, and no one's going to say why is his kid screaming because they understand why that kid is screaming or why that kid is having temper tantrums. So you can not always have to go to like regular functions. You can go to functions where it's friendly for your kid to be around and just be accepted because everybody else is just like them. Right. So you know you got to research a lot of stuff. You got to ask questions. You got to share with like-minded individuals. You got to you just got to find and look for stuff, and it's out there. You just have to find it.
Right. And I want everybody out there. My thing is everybody out there, like you said, so nobody really, unless they're going through it, they really don't understand. That's really with anything. Unless you're going through something, you don't really understand it. You may have knowledge of it, but knowledge and understanding is two different things. But what you can do is support. And I think, the more people, like the brother online, he said his family, he was blessed that, they were their own support system. Everybody not blessed to have that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
but
those,
also
my
the programs in schools.
Yeah. So everybody, get in tune, communicate. If you see, if y'all know somebody, give them a call. Start as simple as a call, a listening ear, that may help the parent.
Exactly.
And in turn, it get a parent more motivation when they feel like they want to give up or they don't know what to do. They got that support system, letting them know somebody there behind them. All right, come over there, chill with them.
Exactly. Yes, I'm for that. Come find me. And just say, let's sit or something, let's just sit and chill, talk about nothing. I need that.
You know what I mean? Or just, come over to Sunny's house, see how her son would act. Even if you're going through what, I hope I ain't using the wrong word, like an episode or something like that. See how she feel with it. So now you can have an even better understanding of what she got to go through on a daily basis. So you can have a little bit more empathy towards the situation, and stuff like that. That's the thing I want to get out there more. Everybody become, we need to be more of a community, support in situations, especially when it comes to the kids.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to the kids.
and I wanted to bring up too is that, you know, what some people may not even realize is that it affects so many people across so many races and financial statuses and everything. You know what I mean? It's all over the country, all over the world. And so, you know, you may be hearing this or hearing about it, but it may affect somebody in your family. If it's not in your immediate family, it may be a cousin, an auntie, or uncle, something like that. You know, somebody twice removed, whatever the case, somebody is being affected, or it might be somebody you work with. So, you know, don't think that it's a small subset of people, or that, you know, it's something that you can just ignore. There's somebody out there in your life that's affected by this disorder, and, you know, that you can be a support to. And like in my situation, I don't have anybody in my immediate family, but I do have quite a few friends and family and cousins and things like that have either children or they themselves are affected, and I also work with folks who have autism. So, you know, my way of kind of supporting is not only, you know, making sure that, you know, I'm educated and trying to help my kids be educated, but also I go out into the community and I do volunteer work at one of the community centers that help and support families of children of autism.
So, and we touched on something earlier, that denial.
Yes.
Denial. So my thing is, you know, the more people educated, like say you know a friend, and it may be somebody out there that you know that like something may be wrong, but they're in denial.
That's a hard thing to tell somebody though, because I mean, like you like I can see the signs that I saw in my son, and watch somebody I know see their kid, and I would want to say to them so bad, you need to take your child to the doctor. Some people don't. Some people aren't equipped to hear that.
Yeah, and it's all about also, like I said, it's educated. It's also a way to bring that conversation up. You know, that's you know.
What I do best is I'll leave information around. You know, something that talks about early signs and what to look for, and I leave it up to the person to read it. You know, just so I don't offend. You know, because some people would get offended by, you know, saying that there's something wrong with their child, when all reality, if they get the education, they realize that, you know, children with autism are unique. You know, they're unique, intelligent individuals, and, you know, they want to be loved just like anyone else does. You know, so it's like we suggested earlier. We, you know, talked about education earlier. All is it just goes around education. You know, it's important to educate. So if you have information on it, and you know, you believe that a family member's child or a friend's child might have autism, just give them a little bit of information. You know, share a little bit about, you know, what you have gone through. You know, and I want to just add that with Sonny's son, I've seen him progress. You know, even though he had, you know, an episode or an acting out behavior, he has progressed. The last 3 or 4 times that I worked with him, he had no behavior at all. You know, and if he does have them, small. I mean, they're, instead of lasting 25 minutes, they might only be lasting 2 minutes or less. You know, so it's all in how that repetition. You know, also what works is a PEC system. You know, that's a picture program that you would use. You know, you can go online and learn how to make that yourself. You know, just find out what the child likes and what interests him or her, and take a picture with your camera, put it in a book with stucco, and allow them to give it to you every time that they want something, or if they want to tell you how their feelings are, how they're feeling, you know, they can communicate that way, because a lot of times when they're acting out, it's because we don't understand them, and they get frustrated with us just like we might get frustrated with them. You know, they don't understand why you don't understand them. and why you can't, dictate what they want and what they need. So by them using this book of pictures, they're able to tell you how they feel, and they're able to tell you what they want, and it kind of relieves that tantrum, and it kind of, they don't have the tantrums as often as they would if they can't communicate.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great point. That was a great tip right there. And going back to discussing the denial, it's also making sure that people that that you may have to approach about this is that it's not, like you said earlier, Shar, that it's not a disability, it's not a hindrance per se. It's something, like you said, that's unique and that's part of them, and that they can get past it to a point and be able to function and be able to interact, like other people, and they can learn how to deal with their outbursts or their emotions or whatever the case may be, and be able to express themselves. And that's what a lot of people don't realize sometimes when they feel like they can't accept it, or they want to deny it because they feel like, oh, it's going to hinder my child, or it's going to make them an outcast. And it's like, no, like I work for people who are on the spectrum, but they lead great lives. I mean, they make great money, they have great lives with their families, they take care of their own families, that kind of thing, or help with their families, and they but they've made progress because they've received the help or the assistance that they need through the resources that are out there. So being able to get people to realize there's help that'll get them to that point, I think will kind of help people realize that it's not as dire as they think.
Right.
And I think conversations like this in itself helps, because the more people have conversations about it, the easier it is for people to who may be in denial, or maybe not even in denial, but scared to seek help or scared to talk to somebody else. But when they see more people are talking about it, when they see more people, it's not like how Willie stated earlier, like this is not gender specific, this is not race specific, economic specific. This thing touches everybody, from all, from all spectrums of life. So, you're not alone. And to the point that Shaw made, that when you want to communicate, if you're educated, you may see something and you don't know how to talk. Like she said, you could just leave information sometimes. You feel me? You probably don't have to say nothing. You could just go over on a visit, real calm, like you there for something else, and just leave a packet there and step off. They gonna see it. They gonna see it. You feel me? Or sometimes you gotta love somebody enough to be willing to lose a friendship and just say something. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You feel me? Because to me, if you see, that's how I judge a good friend. If you see me, slipping, you see something wrong, especially when it comes to my child, you feel me? If you're a real friend, you're a real loved one, you're going to speak up regardless of the consequences.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, that's the main point I want to get out there. You feel me? I keep stressing that.
What I want to give out, I just want to let everybody know that last year I did a walk for autism. It was Autism Walk for a Difference, and it's through this great program called POAC. It's a program that provides help and different resources to kids on the autism spectrum, their families, the teachers, and they teach the entire autism community. They offer all these different services that help educate you on what autism is. They have support services for the family and the children. They have free training for police officers and first responders, like Quentin was talking about. And they help do life-saving, they help with families and the whole community to help them understand and deal with autistic people all across the spectrum. So this program is like a really good program. It's a really good program. It's a nonprofit organization, and what they do is they hold an autism walk every May. Last year I did it. This year I'm doing it. It is on May 13th. It is at Fisher Middle School for those who locally live near me in York, New Jersey. I will be doing the walk. So we basically get people to donate to help us walk and to earn money and donate for the cause. So that way programs like this can continue to offer these free programs to community people as well as first responders and families and, the kids that are affected by autism. So all this money goes towards their efforts. So if you guys want to check out, I had to create a page and sign up, and I created one. And you guys can kind of look on there and donate. The team you're going to look for is Team Zay, and that's TEAM Zay, ZAY. That's what we call my son. His name is Xavier, what we call him. I'm Zay. And I'm going to post it to our Facebook page as well as our blog page, our website, and my personal blog, so you guys will see it going up all the next couple of weeks because, I'm going to try to get people to donate as much as they can up until it's time for me to walk. You can either come out and walk with me, which I would love that, and you can donate as well, or you can do both, donate and come out and walk. And support these kids that are amazing. Support this service that is offered to the community to help, educate people about autism and help with the autism as a whole. Like, they're helping everybody, so it's a very good program. I do have a specific link, so it's POACwalk.org/Mercer/Team-Zay2. So look that up. Go right to that page. It'll give you a brief story about me and my son. It's a picture of me and my son. That's how you'll know you're at the right page. And you can donate to our team to help us support this amazing program and support these kids and families that are affected by it, myself included, and help the community get the resources that we need to make sure that our first responders, police officers, and anyone that wants to be educated to learn about autism and to help these beautiful people that are affected by this disability.
And that link will be on our blog.
Yes, it will be. So definitely check that out. I'll be posting it, so if you're on my Facebook or my social media sites, you'll see it on our Twitter as well, too. So look out for that site, and I'm looking for you have to donate all your whole life, but any donation will help.
Yeah. So I just want to, before we close out, I would like to give Shar the opportunity, any closing words you want to say to the people out there on the subject.
Okay, yes, I would just like to say to everyone to be encouraged, stay encouraged, give your children and loved ones, praise and, let them feel the love and support from you. Just be there for each other, be there for your friends who are dealing with it, and educate yourself. You could always go online and look up your state agencies and, just support. If you see an autism walk, support, because someone near you or someone connected to you will, may be affected. If not now, in the future. So just be there. And it was nice being on the show today.
Thank you for joining. I'm so glad that I got you to join us. I'm like, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely thank you for joining and giving us those great tips and resources and all that.
Yes, that's what I said, Shar, you got to do it. You got to do it.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
No, thank you. Like, you don't know, because like it's one thing for a parent to do it, to kind of share their experience, but it's another thing to have a professional come on that deals with it daily, to get people to kind of understand how serious it is and how educated we need to educate ourselves.
Yeah. And I'm here for support and encouragement as well. I could leave my email address, and anyone can email me, and I will be there. My email address is CHADANCE01@gmail.com. I guess if you want to list that on the website.
Yeah, I was about to say, repeat that one more again.
It's CHADANCE01
CHADANCE01
Yes.
at gmail.com.
Yes. And I want to give out, like, well, y'all know how to reach me, but definitely if you are a parent or know someone that needs someone to talk to about if their child has been diagnosed, I am always available. I understand. And if they need somebody that understands what they're going through, you can give them my information, my contact information. They can DM me on Snapchat or Twitter or Instagram, or if you want, you can email me too. Look on our website. All my information is there. So you can always contact me and just, hit us up through our Gmail, which is gstradioshow@gmail.com. If you just want to talk and share your story with me, that's fine. I will share with you because I understand exactly what it means to go through it as a parent. But definitely if you have more professional questions, hit up Shar. I'm saying Shar because Shar Dance. But, yeah, hit her up too as well and get information from her. She may know, I'm pretty sure she knows way more than I do, and she may be able to hook you up with links and just services that might help you. But definitely feel free to share with me or share on our Facebook page if you want. Look us up, GST Radio, and share your thoughts. You can hit a message through there too, and we'll, contact you guys back. But that's definitely, people need to vent. People need to share. And sometimes you got people that bottle stuff up, don't have anybody to talk to. We're here.
That's the number one thing, people. Educate yourself. Be a support system. And to anybody out there, who's struggling, going through it, don't feel inadequate. Don't feel like you're being a bad parent. Don't feel like it's your fault. Life sometimes give us lemons. We got to make lemonade. So, best part about this show, education and support. And it's out here. So go get
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, again, thank you, Char. We don't want to hold you up. We know you want to go to bed. But I'm telling you, I really appreciate you doing this. I really, really appreciate it. You don't understand how much I appreciate it.
The other brother still on the line?
Frank?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Yeah, and thank you for sharing your story.
I want to stay Frank, too. Yeah,
thank you for sharing yours.
Yeah. I just wanted to say to, everybody out there to stay strong, stay encouraged, and just like when you see your child progress, it makes all the struggles and sacrifices, just like with any other child. And when you see them progress, it makes it all worth it. So, I think the programs that my son's been in over the years, he's doing great. So they featured him on Channel 3 News about a month ago because he goes out and does Meals on Wheels, and they had him on Yuki Washington that did a story on it. Him and another person at the day program that he goes to. They had him out in the community and had him on and did a nice little piece on. I sent it to you, right, Sonny?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
That was pretty nice. But like I said, just stay encouraged. It gets better. Like I said, it's just another thing that you have to deal with, and the child has to deal with. And I think somebody mentioned it earlier. Find their niche, whatever they like, and push that because it helps a lot. It helps a lot. Whatever it is, it could be math, it could be art, it could be music. They autistic children seem to whatever their niche is, they seem to be very, very good at it. They excel extremely well at it, so whatever it is, just push that.
And it's funny because I know y'all know that movie, even though it's not all that, like the movie The Accountant. I don't know how many of y'all saw that movie, but not the murdering side of him, but his autistic side and how good he was at accounting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he found that.
Hello?
Yes.
I'm here.
Oh, I think we might have lost. Sonny.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Here?
Yeah.
Somebody there's some static.
It did go out for a minute.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we went out for a second there, yeah.
I didn't know. But, yeah, Willie, thank you. I saw your donation. Thank you.
No problem.
You'll be out there walking. I'm telling you, I did it last year. I had fun.
Well, everybody, Shar, you gave out any other, you said they could contact you through your email.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else want to say anything else before we close out?
No, I think we're good.
Stay encouraged.
All right. Willie, you want to give out your info, bro?
Yep, just Willie Styles. Y'all know Styles with a Z, STYLEZ. I'm everywhere at Willie Styles. You can get all my links at williestyles.info. Thanks again for a great show tonight, guys, and thanks again, Shar, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
You already know. Y'all know where y'all can hit me up at. Y'all can hit me up on my blog, kingstruth.com, Snapchat at King's Truth. You can catch me on Instagram at ClintBack, BLAQ. You know, I'm everywhere.
And, of course, you know, I am Sunny _D, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. I'm there. You can also find me on my blog, unreservedlyme.com. What I'm going to say? Oh, check out our website, gstradioshow.com. Follow us on Instagram at, same as our Twitter, at GST_radio. We got a Tumblr account. I don't know that information right now off the top of my head, but it's on our website. Shut up, Clint, because you're being shady already. That's our Facebook page, GST Radio. What else? SoundCloud, GST Radio Show. You know, SoundCloud.com/GST
Google us.
Radio.
We everywhere.
Yeah,
That's it. Tell them just Google us. We everywhere.
Yeah, just Google GST Radio and you'll find us. See our logo. We everywhere. Shut up. He just wanted me to shut up, y'all. That's what it is. Clint is shady. I want y'all to know that. But again, thank you, Frank, and thank you, Shar, for joining us tonight. We appreciate you guys and we're doing well. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for staying up.
Yeah, she talking about you.
Okay.
I know. I told her she wasn't going to be able to let us go. It's not going to happen.
She's like at 10:30, I'm off this thing. She was talking at 10:30.
Well, you already know, people. We catch y'all in 7 days.
All right, guys.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.
See you later.
Good night.
Progressive presents Mindfulness with Flow.
Before you lies a beautiful meadow. In that meadow, Progressive Direct has placed its auto insurance rates alongside those of competitors. You select the lowest rate and feel a great sense of calm. A great sense of...
Compare Progressive Direct rates with competitors' rates so you can rest easy. Visit Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Progressive brings you Flowetry with Flow.
When Flo flows, she flows in the know. Mind ruminates the rates. Shown them all, I heed the call. Seeing the rest, I choose the best. Sometimes it's ours, sometimes it's not. When the fox walks, is it called a fox trot? That's a real question.
Compare Progressive Direct rates with competitors' rates. Visit Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.